Call of Duty's in trouble, and it's a little bit more trouble than usual because there's definitely a lot of regular things, but it's an issue that has been under the surface for a while now, and in the most recent days has really just bursted out all in front of us. And what I'm talking about here is user-generated content. And this may be a little bit of a foreign idea to a lot of people that play Call of Duty on console, but for people who've been playing Call of Duty on PC, and especially for people who've been following Call of Duty Zombies would know, this has been something that Call of Duty has actually had for a while now. It all started back in 2008 with World at War, and now in its most recent iteration in Black Ops 3. And this has been some of the best stuff to ever happen in Call of Duty, especially on the zombie side. There's been so much custom maps made for zombies, it's insane. Like, there's maps that are like so amazing that they could straight up be an official Treyarch map. There's even fun challenge maps or maps that completely change the zombies formula and make it something entirely new, or even remasters of old maps that were made by the community. Like, so much amazing content, all was made with custom mod tools by the community, and in many instances absolutely for free. So absolute heroes of these people. They are insanely cool for so many of them just doing this all for free. But as amazing as this custom content has been, the major problem is that the vast majority of the freaking audience has never had access to it, because all of this access has been locked to PC players. And as we all know, Call of Duty is mainly a console game. So probably like 95% of the audience has never played any of this amazing content. And this has absolutely sucked, because like, I know what it was like to be there. The vast majority of the time I was playing zombies especially, I didn't have a PC that I could just get on and play this stuff. Like, I was outside looking in. The only access I had to any of these custom maps was watching YouTubers play. And don't get me wrong, I love that content. I still watch now, even now that I have a PC, but still, like, so many people don't have access to this, and it absolutely sucks, because this content that's made by the community is some of the best content out there. Like, I'd argue that it's the best custom content that I've seen made by a community ever. Like, it's that insane, and it just really sucks so bad that so much of the player base has never had access to this, especially on the zombie side, because that's where some of the best content is being made. And this is, of course, is not a new issue. We've been saying this for a long time. I made a video years and years ago talking about this exact same issue. There's a bunch of other zombies YouTubers or just zombies players who've been saying this for years, but Treyarch, Activision, whoever's in charge of this, continued to ignore this, and they got complacent and they sat on their hands. And this, of course, led to this problem erupting, because as you guys are probably familiar with, just a couple days ago, Fortnite, out of all games, announced something called Creative 2.0, an update to its creative game mode. And yeah, this is insane. Like, the stuff that we've already seen people build with this Creative 2.0 is just crazy. Like, just wow. And I know some of the best content that was released on day one was made by Epic themselves, and that content's insane. Like, some of those look like straight up single player games with boss fights and crazy stuff going on, animations and all that. Or there's even like some puzzle maps, or even just some crazy maps in general, is what I'm saying, all on day one. And I'm sure as time goes on and the community gets more and more used to building maps, they're going to make maps that are just exactly on that same level, and that's going to be great for everyone playing that. But the point is that it's amazing, right? And it's so cool to see that happen for Fortnite. But that's not even the best part about it. Like, the best part is that it's also available on console, so both PC and console players could all play this custom content. And it's just like, wow. Call of Duty's had custom maps since freaking 2008, and they couldn't figure out how to do it all these years, yet Fortnite is able to do it. Like, what is going on? Call of Duty should have been ahead of the curve here. They've had the upper hand here for years now, but instead they were complacent. They sat on their stupid little hands, and now Fortnite once again is jumping ahead and taking advantage of Call of Duty being stupid once again. It's just going to happen over and over and over again, because that's just what Call of Duty does, and it sucks, because it shouldn't be this way. And I'm not saying this solely because I don't want Fortnite to succeed. I'm happy they're doing this. I'm like, I freaking downloaded the game just to experience this stuff. Like, it's cool, but it's just that I want more zombies content, and I know how amazing that content is, and we just don't have access to it as a bunch of console players, and it just sucks that they didn't have that. And it sucks even more the fact that this should have been something that was done years and years ago, but instead, once again, we see Fortnite doing it while Call of Duty sits on their hands. Now, one thing I didn't even mention about Fortnite's creative mode compared to custom maps for Black Ops 3 is the fact that in Fortnite, the people making the maps actually have the possibility of getting paid for their maps, which is practically unheard of on the BO3 side. Like, I'm sure some people get paid through Patreons and stuff like that, and I'm happy that they do. They deserve to get paid for their amazing work that they put in. But a lot of the times people are not getting paid at all or enough for what they do. But on Fortnite, you could get paid directly through the game with, of course, creator codes and when people play your maps, and that's something that is Call of Duty really has been lacking on. Like, they've been living on free labor, if we're being completely honest with them. Like, that is kind of messed up, if we're being honest. So that's something I also love about it, and it's another thing Call of Duty just needs to get better at. But of course, I think it's worth touching on the future of mod tools in Call of Duty, because if we're being honest, it's going to be a while. The best we can hope for is that we'll see mod tools in Trek's next game. That's not expected to launch till 2024, so it's going to be a while. And honestly, even without this console stuff, like, we've needed an update for mod tools for a while. I mean, the last time we got it was Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 3 came out in 2015. That's a while ago, and even if they do release it like day one, which is probably not going to happen with their next game, it's going to be 2024. That's like a whole 9 years later. That's a long distance in between that, and that alone is enough reason. But just think about all the updates that's happened to the engine since then, all the different crazy things you could do. I mean, the engine can now handle battle royale style maps, so imagine all the crazy stuff people could do with that. Imagine custom outbreak maps and all that crazy stuff that can possibly happen with a new engine. So many things to be excited about the possibility of new mod tools for Call of Duty. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that they need to have custom maps on console. Like, they just need that. That needs to happen. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. We need to see that, because if we don't, then zombies, or Call of Duty as a whole, is just going to continue to do the stupid things that it does, and it's definitely going to suck. And Fortnite's going to continue to win and win and win, while Call of Duty catches L after L after L, when they easily could have had a dub in their hand the whole time. So this all really was just a message to Call of Duty, Treyarch, Activision, whoever it will be. Maybe Xbox is going to be in charge of this time, so maybe it's even a message to them. But man, we need to see an updated mod tools in general, and we need to see them be available in console, at least by Treyarch's next game. Because if we don't, man, it's just going to suck. Like, there's so much possibility there that if they don't, I'm just going to be depressed at that point. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.